We will not discuss about string now. It's one full class we need for understanding string. As of now, we are having few data types, right? So let's create. I'm writing name, right? Then, so till now we are saying int I is equal to 10 like this, right? Simple variables, data type declaration. Now we are going to define one string. In double quotes, we need to write Anis, right? This is a series of characters, right? I can write name, right? String name is equal to Anis. It's a series of characters. If you are going in Java, C or C++, they will not be using any concept called string. They are having character array. Okay, we'll discuss what is array. As of now, string is nothing but a data type, right? So it's not a data type. It's a class object itself. They defined it very detailed. Okay. So as of now, you consider it as a data type. Okay. String name is equal to Anis. What it will do? It will store set of characters, a complete words. Okay. For example, if I want to write double quotes, my name is Anis, whatever I want, I can write and add into this will take a string. This is how we used to write, right? My name is Anis, other things, S1, S2, S3, M1, M2, M3. Those are called string. String is nothing but a set of characters. Okay, it's a word. Okay, or you can have paragraphs also, but you should not have new line. So saying new line, need to add a plus. If I'm liking like this, it will not accept. Right. So string is start with double quotes. Okay. So we'll discuss in one complete class I will take for strings. It's having very special features. The most one of the special class is a string. We'll discuss in detail. As of now, string is nothing but a series of character which where it can be word or it can be a paragraph. Okay. So now let's come back to our oops. Okay. Let's go with first thing. What is we'll go with little reverse, like we'll start with class. What is class? Okay. So I want to define a student. We'll call it as student. Defined, right? So a student will be having name, roll number, right? So I will write first no main. You need to understand. Previously I used to write main, right? In all the classes. Now I won't write. Even I won't write method. First I will define the properties. Properties. What is the properties? Like in the roll number, right? In string name, right? Int marks, for example, we normally used to do, right? It's like this. 1, 2, int. Right? What I'm doing here, I'm just defining properties. Okay. Then what I will do, I will define a behavior. Okay. Methods. Or total marks. Now, there is one concept here. We'll get scope. What is scope? Let's understand the scope. Then we'll come to back to this. Okay. Now, if I'm writing int I is equal to 10, can I again use int I? I'm writing int I is equal to 20. What will happen? What will happen?
It shows an error, sir.
What error it will show? Red color is coming your runtime. So when I'm keeping the mouse, you can see the error. What is the error? Duplicate local variable. You need to understand this. Duplicate local variable. It's saying in local we are having duplicate. So what is the meaning of local? Local is a scope. Okay, so from open bracket to close bracket. Okay, so if you are seeing like this, if I'm adding bracket, is that right? Again, if I'm adding bracket, so these two are part of a this one, right? So now if I'm defining int I here, right? Again, I can define int I here, no problem. Because that's local to that brackets. Scope will start from open to close bracket, open to close bracket. So when I'm defining it, I can use the same thing because it's local to that one, it's local to this one. Yes, it's a different, right? There is no different. Both are not same now. Both are not same now, right? Someone's mobile is sorry. No? So now brackets is the life of the variable, right? It will start after bracket, it will end after bracket. Now let's do little change. Okay. Now I will define outside of this bracket. Okay. Now what I'm doing? So now what I'm doing here? I'm defining outside of bracket. So what will happen in this case? Okay. I will define int k is equal to 0. Then what the life of this variable? From this bracket to this bracket. You understand, right? So it will start from this bracket to bracket. It means you cannot even define in local now. In this part also. If I'm defining here, it will say duplicate. That you will not accept. Why? You already define in higher scope. So top bracket, internally if you are coming, it will come automatically. But from inside to outside, it will not go. Understood, right? So local is this is the scope of this variable. What is the scope of I? This. What is the scope of K? This. Right? If I am defining here, right? It is a part of all the classes inside. Okay. So it will be like this. Right? It will be even thousands of methods are there. If you are defining class level, it will come to all. Understood, right? Principal, you will define into school level, right? So school level, one principal. So it is applicable for all the classes, right? Class level, teachers. They will not come to school level. Understood, right? Students, inside class level, right? So similarly, if the variables are defining a bracket, bracket is the starting of their life and ending of life is those brackets only. Understood, right? This is called scope of the variable. You need to understand this very, very much. That's why you might have seen in when I'm writing for loops, right? Always 10 loops I'm writing, but I'm using int I only. Right? So I was expecting some questions from you. Sir, you are saying like I should not define two variables, but how come you are repeating in loop? So anyone got that doubt previously? No. Right? You should ask the question, sir, you are saying int I is equal to 10. Again, I cannot repeat int I is equal to 10, but for loop you are using always for int I is equal to I. I written 10 I for loops, right? How I am doing it? Because it's a different scopes, right? Open bracket is lifetime, close bracket is date of that variable. It will not come out. Okay. So similarly here, when I'm writing int I is equal to 10, right? I cannot define here. Why? Because already I'm outside of top loop. If I'm defining here, then I cannot define inside that bracket. But because if I'm writing also, what will happen? Because it's already life created now. So all internal brackets will carry that life. Until unless that bracket is coming out, this bracket is coming out, its lifetime is dead. I cannot use it. Now let's understand little more. Okay. Right? I'm having two variables, right? So I'm defining int I is equal to 10 here, right? I is equal to 20. Is it a valid point or not? Valid or not? Valid. I'm not declaring it, I'm using it. Right? Then again I'm saying, right, valid or not? Valid. Because I'm not defining it, I'm using it. Right? But if whenever I'm writing int, all now, it will not allow. Already defined. duplicate variable you are declaring, right? You should not define it. So this scope is very important. Don't get confused here. The bracket is the lifetime of that variable creation, and once you are coming out, that variable got deleted. Okay, it will not be a part of that. It's called lifespan of that particular variable. Okay, now you understood. Any questions here? All right. So now let's come back to here. Okay. So now when I'm saying int m1, m2, m3, right? So now I can directly write a return I don't need to pass it here. Like a right? Why? Why? Because I'm already having global level. All the methods inside can use it. Right? Into total, right? Again, I am saying Boolean is parsed. Right? I can write if m1 greater than 35 and m2 greater than 35 and m3 greater than 35. Return true, right? Else false. I'm not need to pass it. Right? Previously, you might see always I'm passing for some I'm passing M1, M2, M3, right? For average I'm passing M1, M2, M3, right? For total I'm passing M1, M2. Everything I'm passing, even pass and fail. Now I know it to pass because it's in student level. For example, you are my student now, okay? So I given one time I will take your result and I will give you result. I will say like you got M1 100 marks, you got M2 90 marks, you got M3 75 marks, right? Then again I am saying whether you are pass. That's enough for me, right? Because you are already holding the marks. I don't need to repeat the marks to you. Why? Already you are aware of that marks. Why I am repeating it? So when you're going real object-oriented programming, it will behave real, how the real world's object will interact with each other. Once I am giving the marks, I don't need to give again. Why? You are holding that marks now. Understood, right? So I don't need to repeat. First itself, I need to give your roll number, name, and your marks. Once you know that, you will be holding that values with you, right? So I no need to repeat it. The same thing here. I no need to repeat marks. It will be there with you, right? I just return. Understood, right? Now the concept, whatever methods I want previously I did, right? So I can use it in without passing variables. Why? The scope is properties. Now you can understand that this part is called properties. Initially, height, weight, everything will come in first. Then he's a software engineer working in my MNC, right? So he do blah 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 work, right? So his hobbies, his interest, his not interest, all will come in behavior. But initially it will come height, weight, fair, right? So those things will come first. Bottom part will be behavior. Same I am doing. What I am doing, I am explaining what are the properties. Then I am using what are the behavior. So and then I am using in a single unit. Understood, right? The definitions which we discussed, we are getting it here, right? Class is collection of objects which share common behavior and attributes, right? So class is encapsulating properties and behavior into a single unit, right? So not a defined object. You need to understand. I'm just defining about class now, right? Now, any questions still here? Now let's write one simple class print. What we did, printing of results, right? So we'll do that one also. So just let me know if someone is not understanding. I will take some other simple example also. So till now, anyone is having question? If you're having question, I will go little simple example. Hello, Khan Saab.
No, sir, I'm good, sir.
You're good. I know you're good.
I understand, sir.
Sana,
Understood, sir.
Tamim.
Yeah, good, sir. I'm good.
So, Wajida.
Walaikum Mama, understood.
Very good, right? Even I will give you a simple example. It's a little, students will be little complex, right? So now let's take one calculator example. It's a very simple, right? Two values I want to add and delete, right? I'm going to create, just guide me how you can do that, okay? I'm creating a calculator. Yeah, taking one calculator object. So what will be the properties of this? Anyone? Tomorrow, operands, right? We need first operand. Revenge. Okay, I will have two values, right? Into A, into B. That's it. Right? So first I need two values. I can take 3, 4. As of now, the basic thing what we are doing, we're taking two values. Okay. So now I want to add this number. What I need to do? Into some, previously what I used to do? Into A, into B, right? Now I need to give Y. Already in scope, right? So why again I need to pass it, right? So just I will remove this. Right? Then I will write return A plus B. Right? Now in subtraction, what I need to do? Into A into B, I need to give? No, right? I can go with a return A minus B. Who said plus? Multiplication A into B, right? So same variable, I can see. You can see one difference. It's in blue color, right? Please remember this. We are going to discuss in next step why it is blue color also. Previously, when you are going, right, you can see the colors here. If I am defining what is the color of total, right, gray. When you are coming back, right, so what is the color here? Right? Blue. There is a difference. I will discuss it later. I want you to remember these colors, okay? White is blue, white is not in different, why that one is not in a blue. This blue is properties, yeah, remember it. This blue are properties. If it is not blue, it's not a properties. We'll discuss in detail. So let's see how we can use it, okay? Return? Right? Now good. So now let's see how we can use it, okay? So till now, I'm defining class, how I'm defining initially I'm giving properties, then I'm giving behavior, right? So in other words, data and methods, right? This one is data, hold the data, and this one are methods. And these two are working together. You need to know if I'm not giving this value, if I'm not giving marks and I'm saying what is your result, then you can able to answer. All right, data is important, right? Then only you can able to calculate it. Otherwise, you cannot able to calculate it. So if your parents not given name to you, how you will call? Initially, we need to set some value, right? Otherwise, we cannot have name also. Even name we don't have. क्या तू बुलाए तो? अरे बच्चे, फिर बुलाना पड़ता. We need to call like that, right? So like that, we need to plan, right? So now you understand. If this is a property and this one is a behavior, and we are encapsulating together, right? So now how to use it, right? So now I'm going back. I'm creating this here, right? Okay. Now main, right? If we need minimum one method to start, right? So without main, we cannot run it. So now I'm creating a calculator. New cal. Why we are doing? If you want to use one object, I'm saying student, right? So what is the meaning of student? No, it's a class, right? I need to define one particular object. I said definitions, right? So it should have uniqueness. So to have uniqueness, I'm creating object. Okay. So now you can say, sir, you are saying C, sir, how it is unique, right? So when I'm defining C south C dot, first I'm printing C, right? What I'm doing? See, it's object. What it will print? Let's see. See, it will create one uniqueness. Even if you are not creating, it will create uniqueness. For example, if I'm creating another C1, right? Let's create C1. Right? There are C1. Same way of creation, right? I'm creating two calculators, right? So when I'm running, you can see different numbers. You can see this part, right? Both are different. Even I'm creating 100 times, it will have same value, right? So it automatically create uniqueness. It's called hash code. We'll discuss it later. As of now, 100 times, 1000 times, I'm creating one student. It is a separate student. Okay. So now when I'm creating object, how will create definition? How to create object? Cal C is equal to new cal, right? Box B is equal to new box, right? Student S is equal to new student. This one is the same of class name, and this one is class name, right? We'll discuss in next step what is why I'm writing like this. Okay. So as of now, how to create object? Cal C is equal to new callet. So I'm deleting it. Now let's set the value, right? C dot A. First time I'm giving marks to you, right? 10. Then C dot B. I give it two values. Instead of directly calling AB, I'm calling Srikanth marks. Srikanth dot marks means what? It's a Srikanth marks, right? Khadir dot marks. Now your marks are different, his marks are different, right? Zahir, Zakir marks, right? Zakir dot marks, right? Asif marks, right? Similarly, when I am creating one object, Srikanth, if I am associating marks, it marks only for him. The memory, everything will be he is holding. If I am saying Srikanth marks are 10, right? Right? Khadir marks, how much Khadir marks? Not given, right? I will not get because only I given value to you, right? Again, if I'm saying what is your marks? 10. How you know? Previously I given, right? So like that it will happen. Each one will have its own memory. It will not confuse, right? If I'm giving your 10 marks, then if I'm asking him, he is saying 10 marks, no confusion. Why? Because you are holding your marks, right? So here also, when I'm creating C dot A, I'm saying that object that your A value is 10. I'm saying your B value is this one. Now that object is holding its marks. So he's responsible on its own. It's not depending on others. Previously, I was giving AB. Who's AB? Right? Always I need to give. Right? If I'm saying, please calculate the marks, I will give from other person. Then I need to always give you, right? So now I don't need to give. I given 2 marks to you. It's with you. Now I'm saying total marks, right? So I will just call D for example, sum is equal to C dot sum. I don't need to pass it. Why? Already he's holding marks, right? So now if I'm printing it, so now what will happen? I will get the total. Got it? Because object is responsible for holding their own value. Memory is allocated to him, right? Now he's holding its own marks, calculation, everything is holding by him. I no need to individually tell him give marks, right? If I want subtraction, sub is equal to C dot sub. I'm using the same names just to matching it, right? So I can use method name and variable name as same, no problem, right? So now you can see subtraction is there, right? Sys out. I can say sub, I will get the sub. I don't need to pass again AB. Previously, what I used to do? always I am passing, right? Now it's object, completely controlled by object. Give me the marks, I will hold it. You don't need to give it, right? So any questions still here? Now how much it's relating to real world, right? So previously I'm saying M1, M2, M3. Who's M1, M2, M3, right? Who's M1, M2, M3? We don't know. We're just using the calculation. Calculation will work, but it's not associated with any student, right? Illogical. Now I'm associating with one value. If I'm giving, that value should work until unless I'm cleaning it or modifying it, right? So any questions still here? It looks very simple when you're listening it, right? Like, iske vaste kya hai? But if you're not practicing now, 2 days after, if I'm asking this question, it will become like a, wow, kya itna difficult hai? If you're not practicing, definitely it will become difficult. When listening, it looks very simple. C dot A, I can remember, right? So now we slowly, I'm going to add complexity to it. We are not going to write code like this. It will have a little more complexity. So you are going step by step. It looks simple for you, but if you are not practicing, it's become very headache, right? It will create confusion, a lot of confusions, right? So please practice. Whatever I'm doing, giving today, please practice it, okay? Now let's try with the student. Now this one, anyone is having question? You know, there is a one button is there, right? So if you are having any questions, you can raise your hand also, right? So you can clicking it, it will show like someone is waiting for questions, right? So even in between, if you are having questions, if you want to interrupt me, you can click this button. It will show me that you are waiting for a question, okay? Any questions? Testing, Zakir, catch him. எனக்கு புரியல.
Declared some back and another picture is also declared. The other one will print new line or not.
It will always, everything will be, if you are having print ln, right? It will always new line. Okay, any other question? Can I move next?
Sir, this is all about class, right?
Sorry, ma?
This is all about class, right?
Yeah, correct. Class and how to create
Is there
object.
is
How
yes,
to
sir,
create
is there
object. You
any
need to remember, previous itself I said, like class definition, we did biodata, right? Biodata, we are giving how the biodata should be there. Now here, you are giving biodata details. Srikanth, right? You should not say about Srikanth, otherwise problem will come. Okay. Asif. Okay, we'll go with Asif. Okay, Asif. Name, profession, right? Age, right? And looking for bride, right? So those things will come there, right? So initially I define how the class should be, right? So if you have name empty, height empty, right? So all details there, okay? So now we are filling it. When we are filling it, it will become object. When we are not filling it, it is just a class. It's not having anything. I'm just having template. Name is there, colon empty, right? ID is there, empty, right? Profession is there, empty. So nothing is there. Then when I'm adding Asif details, then it will become Asif object, right? Asif biodata object. Here also, when I'm defining it, I don't have any value here. Can you see any value here? No, right? So we are not defining value, just we are saying how it should look like. Then in usage, what we are doing, we are creating object by passing the values. Yes, ma, you're saying something.
is there this is all about class and is there anything else beyond this?
Yes, it's having not only class, it's having three concepts. First one is a class, and then is encapsulation, right? So two concepts are there. So class you cannot define independently, right? Class is a template, right?
Okay, in this class only we are
Even if
having
I'm
types
creating
of.
1,000 calculators, right? It will follow the same structure. So it's a collection of objects which share common behavior and attributes. Definition, right? Then what I'm saying, it's working as encapsulation. How? Properties and behavior into a single unit, right? Now everything holded by calculator only, right? Everything holded by student only, right? So it's a encapsulation. Can I
I
move
got it,
next?
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. When we move,
Let's go back to student. Right here, what I am in, roll number, name, all the details are there, right? Is pass or fail. I'm going to create it simple, but I wanted to practice at least 3 or 4 times. You try the student one, okay? So now what I'm doing, I've just print result, void print result, right? So now what I will do is in this, I will have sys out name. I'm saying name, right? Multiple things, right? So he's having ID, roll number, right? Roll number, name, M1 means we'll add some subject name, maths, right? Science, social, right? Then total marks, okay? And then average marks, then is pass or fail, right? Average, right? Here I am now I need to change the values, right? Here roll number. Why I am writing directly without changing it? Because it's a global scope, right? Member variable, right? So this one is member variable. So directly I can write a name here, M1. Here I can write M2. Here I can write M3. Then here write total marks, right? Marks, right? Why I'm writing total? This one also local, right? I'm having bracket here to here. I can directly use it from one method to another method. Directly I can use it, right? Then average is I don't have that method, but I'm using it like this, right? Then I will write is pass, right? How simple it is, right? So I need to pass the value always. I just call the methods, right? So it will work. Now I need to use it. I want to just give marks. I will not give anything. You note how beautiful this code looks. Okay. So now let me write a scope is there. Okay. Let me correct this error as of now. I'm writing another class test to student is there. Huh? No, right. I will write. Now main. Now tell me how to create object for student. Student. Yes is equal to student. Right. Now what I need to give? S dot M1, right? S dot M2. S dot M2. I will give name also, right? Because I want to print the name also, right? So I will give name. First I will give name. Roll number also, right? Okay. Roll number. Roll number I will give 1. Right? Added. How to call the result? S dot print. That's it. I don't need to worry about anything. Right? I given marks, I want result. That's it. When I'm running it, see, Roll number 1, 3, 39. All the marks came, total marks came, and it's ready. I need to pass it again. Why? Student object is responsible for holding its own object. Okay. So remember this theory, right? Which I told when I'm saying initially when we are creating object. Student is a class name, S is object name. This new is called a keyword which will allocate memory, right? So this student again is called constructor. I will tell you one separate class for this. We'll discuss it. What is constructor? Okay. Till now, any questions? If I want to create another student, what I need to? Student is to new student. This guy is again separate guy. Because why? I'm saying new, then is new guy. Okay. Any questions here? I'm writing 1,000 times, 1,000 students will get created. If the new keyword means what? New ka kya? New. New means new, right? It's not a old one. So now again, if I'm creating this student as to, then if I need to give separate marks to him, name, right? I'll give you Asif. If I'm writing print name, it will work. Name will print. Other things will be empty or zeros. If integer there, it will be zeros. We'll discuss it why it's behaving like this, right? So now you can see this dot print result. Okay. Sri. Acha, yes, I given yes. Okay, sorry. Yes, I given. See the problem. So because yes, he knows its marks, it's giving. But I'm setting the value for yes2. Now let me run it. What is the value? So Asif got very good marks. Not given, yeah. What you can do? Huh? Duma. Okay, you understand, right? So you not set value, not coming. Why it is coming 0? We'll discuss it later. One time Asma or Hudayfa said, right? So when you are not defining, it will give errors. Right? That error is not coming here. Why it is not coming? We'll discuss it in next step.
It's a print result. Why you have mentioned as print result? Because I think I have not, I missed the class instead of a print line. This out.
See, this one I written here, right? Print result is a separate method where I'm writing series of sysouts. Right? I'm just using it. Instead of writing one by one, I'm having all the details here, so I'm printing it.
Okay. I think I have not seen that.
Yeah. So now object is responsible for its own values, right? If you are good, I will go next step. Because why means tomorrow the no class, right? So I want to give a little more portion for you to practice and read about it. Okay. So today let me take a little more space for you, but theoretically you need to be prepared. At least 10-20 times कितने objects बनाते कि बना दो. Please try to write those things. Okay. Now let's move. I will make it little complex. So before that, we need to understand some theory, right? So I'm saying like private, public, right? Means what? I'm able to even parents and childs, right? They will have some private things which cannot be shared. So I given one example as a toothbrush, right? So there are many other things. It's not only the toothbrush, even though parent can able to give, right? But some things they will keep it secret, right? So here also there are one thing called private, right? So now I'm defining these variables, right? This variable, these properties. I don't want this to be given to another class. I want to make it little safer to set value. Another example is like you're having kids in your home, right? So some person is coming from outside. He's asking, I want to speak with your kid for 15 minutes. Right? Many Bejus people will come and they will ask. So, do you think like you can leave them alone with that guy? Why not? It's not safer, right? But you will think like I'm losing opportunity of getting some good advice from that person. But at the same time, you want to make little safer discussion. Then what you will do? First talk with me,
Instead
right?
of
Then
public, instead of public, we can write to private, sir. Is there an opportunity?
I'm talking about what he's saying. Saab, you are not here, you are safe. Right? What you will do, you will be saying like, I will in front of you, if you want whatever you discuss, you do it. Or go through me, as he
Okay,
said.
sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Don't go
Sorry, sir.
directly and interact. Go with me, right? You can speak with me, I will explain. Right? So here also, whenever you are writing a method, we should not allow them to access directly. What do you need to? You should not allow them. For example, here, if you can see, if I'm going to test a student, right? So directly, I'm calling s dot roll number, right? S dot name. I'm saying s dot m1, s dot m2, s dot m3. So directly, I'm touching the variables, right? So it should not be allowed. The control should be coming to my class, this class, and this class will think whether it's valid or not, they will add. So what I will do is, here two keywords will come, private and public. All the properties when you are writing, it should be private. All the properties, it's a standard way. Now I'm acting like this, no problem, right? So it's not a good standard of code. The best standard of code is give all the properties, no property should touch directly. So how to set the values are there, right? We are saying I should not touch it directly. Then how to set the value? You need to take the support of behavior. With behavior only or methods only, you should be able to touch the variables. How to do that, right? So now I'm saying like private and public. We'll discuss only about these two. We'll go in detail when we are coming to packages and little more advanced class. We'll understand. Now we are having private and public. Private means no one should touch it outside of the class. Only those class people can touch it directly. You are having your brother, right? They can directly interact with your kids, right? Their sisters, right? Mother. You'll allow them. They also will say, अम्मा को जागो बात करना हो तो बच्चे से मेरे सामने बैठ के बात करो बोलते हैं. They are having directly access because they are part of that family, that class, right? They can directly interact, but outside people, they cannot directly interact. You will be having bodyguard to them, right? So here also, whenever you are touching variable, you should not allow them to touch directly. This is a main standard. And another thing is there are a lot of other things in future. You will understand why we are using this particular thing very strict way, right? So now let's come back. I am saying this roll number, right? So it's can be able to access outside. What I will do is I will not allow. I will just write private. What I'm saying is now this roll number cannot be accessed outside of this class. If I'm saving it, what will happen? You can see to previous class. One line you are getting error. Why? Now these properties cannot be accessed outside of this class. Why? Now I made it private. When I'm keeping the mouse there, you can see what happened. Student dot number is not visible. It's hidden. It's a private. Right? So now let's do all the other classes also. We'll make all the other things also private. Let's go to calculator first. All right. Calculator is easy thing to understand. So we'll go to calculator. Okay. So now I will make it a private and private. So now what I'm saying is A and B cannot be touched. Chalo bhai. I know that, right? It's showing. So private int A, private int B. What I'm saying now, this AB is a private, but here you are not getting any error because These are the member variables. They no need to worry about it. They can even private, public, protected, whatever is there, they can access it because this is inside a class. So, but when we are calling to test calc, right? If you are going to test calculator, you can see error. What? A, B, what is that? Red color is coming. What? These are not visible. When you are keeping the mouse, you can see the field A is not visible outside of this class. So how to do that? Now there is option. You need to use methods to set this value. Right? You need to go through me to set this value. Right? So now how we can do? Let's see. What I will do is here, I will write setters and getters. I will use the method set to set the value. Right? I will write public void set A. I'm giving any name I can give. Okay, any name I can give, but to make sure that I'm not getting confused, I'm writing set A. Right? Then I will pass int x int y. Then I will say A is equal to x, B is equal to y. So what I'm doing now? Int AB I'm doing. Let's I have set AB, for example, as of now. Okay. So I'm setting two values by passing from outside because it's a public method. I can pass from outside, right? So I'm getting that value. I'm assigning that value. Now no direct interaction, right? So if I'm coming back here, right? Instead of calling this, I will remove this. I will say c dot set AB. Then I will pass value. Right? Now set c dot A, c dot B will not be called. I will call c dot A set AB. From here I can pass the value by using xy. This will get copied to xy. Then it will come to value. So now if I'm going inside, right? So you can see xy is A. Now you can see the difference in color, right? So blue color and this one is gray. Blue means member variables. Coming outside is gray color, right? It's not part of member variable. This is the thing which are coming from outside, right? So now same code will work, but it's a little safer now. I'm not using any variable now. C dot A, C dot B, I cannot able to call. How I need to call? By using C dot set AB. So always better is always use a single method. Don't use set AB, set C. Always use single value to set the value. That's the standard. What I will do, I will write two methods. Instead of AB, what I will do? C dot, public void set A. I will pass into x, right? Then I will write A is equal to x. Again, if you want public void set B into y, then I will write A is equal to B is equal to, right? You can with colors itself we can able to identify, right? So any questions still here?
Can you give an example of a real-time example for this?
This one is real example is like same thing actually. If you are going to our code, real code, it's like you'll understand a little more because we are not going to constructor. Then you'll understand more why I'm doing like this. Okay, so we'll explain in future because real example is like each object. We should not, for example, I will say in abstraction. We are discussing abstraction, right? So abstraction is like, for example, if I want to start engine, right? So how will it start engine? I will use key, right? I'm not directly interacting with the engine. I'm not going and running. पुराने जमाने में देखे समझो, तो क्या करते? बोला zoom कर फिर आते, right? So we used to run directly interacting with the engine. Now we're using key. Why we are using key? Why we are cannot able to start engine directly? Not only advanced, it's a safety also, right? You are using other method cell to run the internal machine, which is interacting with many other public methods. Internally, how the things are running, how the things are running, you don't need to worry. You are just passing one value, key, switch on, right? So you'll understand more when we are writing a code, why we are going like this. But as of now, you need to understand like for interacting engine, I don't need to go directly interacting engine. I will use some public method to interact it by using key. right? So those things are one of the example. Property should not be touched directly. Hope you got a little idea, right?
Yeah. Okay, you can just proceed.
So when we are doing it, programming, we'll understand more. Even the frameworks will use this setter and getter. Okay, we'll discuss in future also. We'll keep on discussing because it's a very important part. It's object. How to create class, how to create object, right? So we need to daily we need to discuss about it. It's not like the first time or last time, right? So it's keep on, we need to repeat this concepts. Okay. So now instead of 1, what I will do, C dot set A, right? I will use 10. C dot set B, I can go with a 20, right? Now this is a set. How to get the value? That also like that only, right? I should not touch the values directly. If I want to print A, I need to write C dot A. It will work? No, because it's not visible now. How to get the value? I will write another method which will just return value. How I will do? Public int get A. What I will do? Return A. Right? I cannot touch directly. What I need to do? I take the help of a method to get the value. Right? So those will come here. Get A. If I want to print B, public int get B. Right? Return B. Right? Setter also I should not touch. Getter also I should not touch. But internal methods they can use directly. Okay. So now everyone clear? I will spoil your clearness. Okay. So I will add one other complexity and we'll close it today. Okay. So now I'm passing AB and I'm passing XY. Right. So it's a little confusing. Right. So is there any possibility I can use AB only? And if I'm passing AB, how to differentiate local and external variables? Right. For example, instead of AB, what I will do is I'll write into A into B. Is it possible? Yes, it's possible. So in this case, what will happen is when you are passing, these values are coming from outside, right? So this one is coming, you can see this one is blue color, right? This one is gray color, right? So it's color, how it is different? Because these are member variables. This one is not member variables, right? So to identify this, what we'll write is, we'll write this one keyword called this dot B, and this one will call A and B. Right? So now you see the color difference. What is the blue color? Member variables are properties. The values which are coming from outside is gray color, right? Now why I'm saying this is because in local I'm having both. AB is there, member variable is there, outside values also there, right? So I need to identify which one is coming from outside, which one is coming from inside, right? So for that, what I will do, I will use this dot A, this dot B to identify member variable, right? This car engine, this car keys, right? So if I'm saying this car means the object which is going to get created now, self, right? Mera naam, right? Mere marks. I can use me, right? So if I'm asking you this, I will use this keyword. This keyword will help me, even though variable names which are coming from outside are same, I can differentiate by using this. Okay. So now advantage of this, why you are confusing? Sorry, XY is also good. Why you are confusing? Because this one will give me automated creations of methods. For example, this code I written, right? Get A, get B. I will delete it. Right? I will create it within a minute. Right click, source, generate getter setter. Right? I'm selecting A and B. I'm just generating. See the code. Right? Everything got created. Let's remove this part which I created previously, right? So now, again, let me create it because already set method was there. So it's created again. Right click, Don't use this. I'm just showing you why I am using same names. Okay. Source, generate, getter, setter. Then I'm selecting both. Right. If you are expanding, you can see that one also. Get A, set A, get B, set B. If you don't want to create anything, you can uncheck. Okay. Then I am generating it. You can see get A, set A, get B, set B. You can see this dot A is coming there, right? Why? Because I am passing the same name, setting the same name. To differentiate which one is coming from outside, which one is local one, I am using this dot A. Okay. Any questions?
Can you explain once more if you are having some time?
Yeah, sure. So the thing is like previously I said like I will go with the different variables int x, right? Int x. I can pause this. A is equal to x, right? So, but I'm saying like, can I use the same variable name instead of going with a x value? Here you are saying passing x and you are setting to a, right? So I need to use always multiple variables and it will confusing also. Where to pass x, where to pass y, right? So can I use the same name? Yes, I can use the same name here, right? Now the problem is here you are having two a's. Which a to take? This a or this a? To identify which one is local, which one is a member, we will use this keyword, which will help us to understand this one is a member variable. You can see highlighted values, right? This dot A is blue color, right? So this value is coming from outside, right? So why I'm making this statement is we are having a lot of tools, all the tools which will generate this setter and getter methods automatically. They will follow the same standards.
Now, what I want to ask is, you are mentioning private int A, means you are using same character for both in one class, AA.
Yes, correct. So
But why it is
not
not
one class,
giving
in
an error
one
here?
method. Yes. Here you can see int A is there, right? This one is also int A, right? This one is a parameter which is coming from outside. And this one is a property of that particular class. It's not outside. To differentiate it, we'll use this dot A to identify the member variable and normal A to identify that it is coming from parameter. Right? So just practice it, you'll understand more. Like how we can create setter and getter, right click, source, generator, getter and setter, generate getter, okay. Generate getter. It will automatically create all the variables, set get, and how to differentiate local and this one. There is one thing called this keyword. This keyword we'll discuss in future also. So any questions still here? Now let's repeat from first, right? So initially we used to create the student, right? So we discussed about initially scope. What is scope? Scope is a brackets, right? So bracket will help us to understand the scope of that particular variable, right? So we have a test scope right here, right? In this case, what we are doing is this bracket will create the lifespan of that variable. Once you are opening the bracket, if you are defining variable, that life will get created for that variable. Once you are coming out of that bracket, that variable will get destroyed. Okay. So there are different scope. In same scope, you cannot create two variables. In same scope, you cannot create same name, same variable, right? Even you are seeing int A, you cannot use string A because the variable name is should be unique. What error will get? We'll get a duplicate local variable, right? So to avoid this, what we need to do? We need to create a bracket that will create a scope, right? If I'm creating variable outside of the methods, it will for all methods. It's a class level. We call it as a property for that particular class. One example is we took like student. Student is having int I. It means what? It's a property of that one. Student int roll number. It's a property of that student. Int string name is a property of that student, right? Marks. So once I'm creating defining the particular student, Then how I can create object? Student S is equal to new student. So how to create object? If someone is asking you a question, then you need to say student S is equal to new student if you want to create. What this new will do? It will allocate memory, right? Again, the first part is student is a keyword. Let's see that particular one. All right. This student is a class name. Then this one is the object name, right? Then this new will responsible for assigning memory. Then this one is called constructor. What is constructor? We'll see in day after tomorrow class. We'll have one complete class for dedicated for constructors. As of now, to create an object, we need to use the help of a constructor by using new keyword. Right? Then how to set the value? S dot roll number, like that we set initially, right? We are directly calling properties values. Then we are using methods. We no need to pass again and again because it's memory allocated to that particular student. It's not a separate memory. Previously, how we used to call M1, M2, M3. Who's marks that one? We don't know, right? Now we know for student Srikanth, our student Asif, right? Sadir or Zakir. So based on that names, it's getting particular student getting marks. He is responsible for holding its own marks, right? So then what we did? We should not touch the properties directly. We should go with standard. The standard way of setting the values is we should use behavior methods to set that value. So what we did? We created a setter and getter to set that value. Okay. So any questions still here? The homework I want is like not only student, all the homeworks we did right previously, calculator, student with a print result with all details. Like first class is first class, second class is second class, third class is third class. We should all use only methods and objects. Try to do that homework. And the thing which I said, like you try to practice 3 to 4 times, right? Class if you need to share the homework, right? So you take anyone's help and share the homework. I want minimum 10 to 20 programs. I will also give some basic things. Don't use other things. Whatever I said till now, use that one only. Don't use new things. Okay, we'll discuss the day after tomorrow. We are going to discuss on constructors and little more on this setter and getter methods. Yes, Khan.
Sir, can you explain? Sir, can you explain about setter and getter for a little bit in a simple example?
Yeah, setter and getter is why we'll use. We should not touch any member property or member variable directly outside of that class. Right? It's a standard way. We need to make them private. Private means you cannot able to access outside. Public means from anywhere you can able to access it. Okay. So I made it private. And once I'm adding private, what happened? It's showing error, saying like it's not visible outside of class. So how to set that value? We should take off any other method help, which is public. Because public I can able to access outside. I need to take the help of public, and then I can interact with the method properties, right? So instead of going directly, I should use a setter method to set the value, getter method to get the value. So how will do? Set, I will call that particular variable int x, and I'm setting that value to this dot a, right? So to differentiate between local variable and external variable, this blue color will let us know that this particular value is from member, right? So blue should not get outside a value. So how to call? Using public method, I can call the same method name, variable name, int a. But how we can differentiate? By using this. If you are having confusion, which one is external, which one is internal, you need to add this dot a, which will create avoid your confusion. This means member variable, only a means it's coming from outside. It's a parameter. Okay. Just practice little confusion. We are going to revisit it continuously. Till we are going to get job, we are continuously using this concept.
Thank you, sir.
It's with logical, right? So I'm just, you see this particular class, you feel right? I'm just giving roll number and marks. Now I'm just saying print result, not passing any value, right? Why? I already given marks to it. right? I don't need to worry about again giving marks at calculations. Any questions? I will take another 5 minutes. I will stop.